What's up, fam, and thank you so much for stopping by the channel once again from us over here at Locust&WildHoney. So for today's video, as you probably already read in today's title of the video, we are going to be comparing Fear of God's 4th collection indigo denim that is priced at $1,000 and comparing it to MNML's M1 15-ounce denim, which costs approximately $80. If you use my coupon code, it's a little bit cheaper than that. But today's video has been really highly requested, and I'm so excited to get into today's video. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into it. So just before we get started, I did want to let you guys know that Joel AKA Gallucks is collaborating with me on today's video. I'm actually recording this because I felt like I could be a little bit more specific as to what the differences and similarities are, as well as I just wanted to make the audio a little bit better. When we recorded previously, it was super echoey. I know it's probably a little bit like that now, but it was much worse before. So stay tuned to the very end of this video. It's really fun. We do this thing where I have him blindfolded and like I have him feel the denim and stuff like that, and he's blindfolded and I want him to guess which one's which. It's really awesome, as well as he tries it on and guesses which one's which. And with that in mind, guys, definitely check his channel out. I will have a link in the description to his channel. We actually collaborated on a vlog, and he's one of my good friends. He's one of my favorite human beings that I've met on YouTube. He's just such a humble, awesome, friendly guy. So all things considered, I did want to kind of just go over the main differences between the two, as I felt like the quality as well as the video was a little bit rushed, and that's completely my fault. It was really hot in there and I felt like I was kind of trying to power through it. But anyways, I did want to kind of set it up in like some bullet point kind of form. That said, on one hand, we have Fear of God's 4th collection indigo denim that retails at about $1,000. On the other hand, we have MNML.LA's M1 denim, which is 15 ounces, that retails for $88, but if you use my coupon code, it's about $80, give or take. So what are the main differences? What are the similarities? And which one is right for you? Let's jump into it. First, we have Fear of God's selvage denim. And if you guys don't know what selvage denim is, feel free to check out my video. Link will be in the description of me breaking down what exactly selvage denim is. To break it down quickly, the difference between selvage denim versus the rest is that during the process, number one, you use the denim's edge. It's a lot more expensive to use this denim because there's a lot of waste that goes into it. Number two, selvage denim is known for being really dense, and as a byproduct of being really dense, it's very fine. The fabric is really fine and the strings are really fine, I guess is ultimately what I'm getting at. And so when you distress it, it has that really nice aspect of the shreds being really thin, and that's what a lot of people go for. It really is complementary to the denim, and it gives it that vintage kind of high quality type of feel. Lastly, one of the main differences between selvage denim and normal denim is simply due to the fact that because, as we already talked about, it's really dense and finely woven, that means it's also very structured, which essentially gives it that really high quality sense. It stacks really nicely and overall looks really good. But as I said earlier, it's really expensive, or it's a lot more expensive to make selvage denim because, as I said, there's a ton of waste and you use a lot more yardage with regard to a roll or a loom of denim. On the other hand, you have a standard pair of denim. The construction of this denim is a little bit cheaper because you can make it in bulk and recycle the parts and kind of put it together, if that makes sense. Because of that, the distressing might not look so good because, as I said earlier, while the selvage denim is really dense, normal denim is not quite as dense. It's made a bit more in bulk and with a little bit less care, if that makes sense. So when you distress it, the shreds and like the pieces that kind of hang off are a bit thicker. And honestly, a lot of people don't think it looks as good, but that's for people who are very particular about the denim that they wear. Lastly, the stacks won't be as good with regard to standard denim just because the denim's lighter. It's not as dense, and as a byproduct, like the folds aren't as structured, if that makes sense. Now, to combat that, MNML has done an excellent job of making this really heavy, really dense, and really structured pair of 15-ounce denim. And honestly, in my opinion, I think this pair of denim is a game changer. To be perfectly transparent with you, if I'm just breaking it down first and foremost, if I'm gonna say which one's better, I definitely go with Fear of God's denim. But not everybody has $1,000 to spend on denim, And I think this 15-ounce minimal denim is a steal and a bang for your buck, to say the least. The value is definitely there, the fit is there, and I'll get into that in a little bit. But most importantly, the quality of what you get for $88 is unprecedented. That's why I'm doing this comparison. That's why it's even a discussion, because I legitimately believe this is a topic worth of discussion, and this is a great alternative to somebody who doesn't have $1,000, as I already said. Now that we've generalized our template or our canvas that each pair of denim is working on, I did want to talk about a couple things, both the wash as well as the fit. I think it's important that we denote that with regard to the wash, the Fear of God denim varies. What I mean by that is each batch that Fear of God has released has a variant to each wash. And what that means is every loom that they purchased and made Fear of God denim from, they're all different. You know, they were made in different times, different places maybe even, and all the denim is not the same with regard to wash. Now, I will say definitively, the OG batch to almost everybody that's seen it is the best that's been so far, and it's only gotten progressively worse. Now, that's not to say that the most recent batch from the garage sale is the worst or is bad per se, but it's definitely not as good as the ones before it. Now, looking at the denim overall, you're gonna see this sense that it's from the 90s. You're gonna get a sense that it's like a vintage pair of Levi's denim that you found at the flea market that's been aged and washed, and it's been through a long lifetime. And that's essentially what Fear of God was aiming for. What Jerry Lorenzo was aiming for was that sense that this pair was literally lifted from maybe the 80s or the 90s and brought here to today's day and age. Now, with regard to the minimal 15-ounce denim, honestly, I prefer this wash more than I do the Fear of God denim from the garage sale. Like, having them side by side, had this denim wash been lifted and just put on the Fear of God denim, I would have been very happy, because to me, it doesn't necessarily remind me of the OG batch, but it's almost like the second batch that came out. I kind of get like that sense, and I do like this wash a little bit better, if I'm gonna be honest with you. Now, honestly, this realization took me a minute to get to, because I spent $600 on the Fear of God, and this is something that I don't want to believe, but it just is. This is a fact in my opinion. Now, I know that everybody has their own opinion, but regarding to wash specifically, I honestly do prefer the 15-ounce minimal denim. But if we're comparing to the older Fear of God batches, definitely gotta go with those for sure. Another difference that I've kind of felt, now I don't know this definitively, but I think Fear of God uses a really thin wax layer over the coat of the outside of the denim. Now, don't quote me on this, but it's just something that I've noticed that might be true, it might not. Comment down below if you kind of see that, but that's just my opinion. On the minimal denim, that's not there. You kind of just have the wash, and that's essentially what it is. Now onto a topic that I really wanted to discuss and talk about, the fit. First and foremost, let's get this out of the way. Go true to size of the minimal. I personally wear a 31 in minimal, and that's generally been the consensus throughout everything in minimal, which translates to like a medium in like other brands and stuff like that. Now, with the Fear of God denim, I had to size up. I do wear a size 33, but I do believe I could have gone away with a size 32, but I've never tried it on, so don't quote me on that. Now onto the taper. Everybody's had an opinion with regard to the taper. I've seen it time and time again on the channel and in the Locust&WildHoney Facebook community. So many people are just upset that, or saying that the taper isn't good enough on the minimal M1. Now, I can definitely tell you this, and this is what I've been told by the people at Minimal. They've revised it so many times because there have been so many complaints about the taper. Now, I want to show you guys both denim side by side on top of each other, just to kind of show you what it looks like right next to each other. As you can see here, the denim is almost identical with regard to the taper. The biggest difference that I've seen, and it's really not that big of a difference to be honest with you, the taper looks a little bit more dramatic when you're wearing it on the Fear of God denim because the thigh area is a little bit more exaggerated. But the way it finishes and stacks, I think you guys will be really happy with the M1s as they've been coming out. Also, something I did want to talk about with regard to how they fit and stack. The Fear of God denim stacks so well because of its ounceage and its structure. Of course, the taper is huge with regard to that, and the stitching on the back of the knee, but you have to understand that when it comes to stacking, it's not just the taper that's at play, but it's also its structure. Now, with the minimal 15-ounce denim, I think you're gonna notice that the structure of it is gonna be so much better than its predecessors. Now, with regard to them relative to each other, I do love how they both fit. In my opinion, the Fear of God Denim does look better overall just because it's more rigid and structured, but I can't hate on the 15-ounce denim, especially at that $88 price point. That's crazy to me. I would have never guessed that there would be this big of a disparagement and such a small difference, if that makes sense, with regard to fit. So it's ultimately up to you guys. I'm not trying to persuade you either which way. Like I said earlier, the Fear of God Denim, I prefer over the minimal, but the minimal is definitely worth a look if you don't have that extra money to spend. Now, with regard to length, what I've noticed is that the Fear of God Denim is a standard inseam of 34, give or take, because of the zippers. The zippers are like long, as well as on the minimal denim. I think those are at a 33 by my measurements. I might have not measured it exact, but I think they're at a 33. And obviously you have the zipper, which constitutes a little bit more length. But yeah, the Fear of God Denim is a little bit longer. And yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. That's essentially what I wanted to talk about. Just kind of like the main differences, the characteristics that make the denim what they are. What I want to do now is segue into the section where Gallucks, aka Joel, talk about each respective pair. Now, please don't complain about the echoing. I know it's pretty bad. I went into the editing process already and I know it doesn't sound very good, so I apologize for that. It really wasn't my intention, but I do think there's some valuable stuff there nonetheless, and more than anything for me personally, it was pretty entertaining to see him guess which one was which. And yeah, let's go ahead and jump into the segment where Joel, aka Gallucks, and I talk about the denim and kind of break it down and play this little game of guess what pair of denim you've got on.
Okay guys, so how I wanted to start this video was to give Joel the opportunity to feel both pairs of denim. That way it can be strictly based off of quality. I want him to kind of like do it without like being able to see, so I brought a blindfold and I'm gonna let him check them out, both pairs, obviously without the ability to see.
I've never felt either before.
Yeah, he's never felt either, and I wouldn't let him feel either prior to it.
Cool.
So,
Let me feel them.
all that being said, guys, let's go ahead and throw on the blindfold on him, and let's see if he can guess which one is the $1,000 pair of Fear God Denim and which one is the $70 minimal denim. Let's do it. Blindfold, sir.
Oh, it's like an eye mask.
It's an eye mask.
It's like it has a bow on it.
Yeah, it's the only one that they had at today.
Could have brought like a bandana.
That would have been way cooler.
Yeah, this is
Jerry
cool.
Boy-esque.
Yeah. I'm gonna twist it this way.
Yeah, you should do that. It's way cooler. Okay.
That's cool.
So,
It's too big for my head. Okay.
you can't see, right?
No.
You for sure can't see.
Yeah.
Okay. So he's blindfolded, can't see a thing. This is all completely candid, like this isn't planned. So let's go ahead and start the test.
Can you wait? So can you take them both off and swap them around? Because
Yeah, no, I'm gonna make sure that.
I knew where they were placed.
Okay.
I don't want to.
Okay, no, I'm gonna let you feel both a few different times. Okay.
This is so weird.
Okay, so let's go ahead and do it. So here's one pair I've done for you, sir.
It's like some weird game show. You know my stuff is full of like sludge. Gunge. Is that what it's called? Gunge?
Slime.
Yeah, slime.
You got a good feel for him?
I want to go on this way.
And I'll give you the other pair as well. So don't guess yet.
Okay.
Next pair. There you go, sir.
Either minimal, like gonna love me, or Jerry Lorenzo will hate me. So
That'll put you on a long, long list, my friend.
you can keep that.
Okay, ready? You want to try the other pair again?
Yeah, I need a better feel. Wait, let me feel this one too.
He's really going hard on that.
Yeah, can you definitely do that?
Yeah, of course.
So it would be funny if I said give me the other one and gave you the same pair.
Psychological warfare.
I feel like I'm feeling it in a weird place. Can I have the other pair again?
Of course.
Oh my god.
This is so funny.
It's so similar. Because I've never felt fear of God, because I haven't felt this kind of style of minimal. It's really tricky because I don't know what I'm basing it against.
Yeah.
But
Try that one more time?
yeah. This one feels like thinner. That one feels a bit thicker. But they're both like stitched really well. And they both have really similar zips. I feel like this is Fear of God Denim.
Wow.
And I feel like that is the other one from the back.
Would you like to show?
Can I open my eyes?
Yeah, go ahead.
It's minimal.
Hey, you know what? That is perfectly fair. How about that, dude? How ridiculous is that?
That's crazy.
Okay, guys, so here side by side we have 2 pairs of denim. I guess I want to start out this little segment with Joel. What constituted? Why did you think the minimal pair was Fear of God? What kind of told you that?
It felt, I don't know, what I was feeling for was like stitching, the quality of the denim, like how it felt, and this one felt kind of just a tiny bit thinner. There wasn't much difference between them, but to me this one felt more kind of refined. But maybe that's because the Fear of God kind of vibe is to be kind of less refined.
Sure.
So, but having said, both felt very similar.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, because this is like 1,000, this is like 60.
Yeah, so that's insane to me. So what I did want to emphasize on, everybody's asking what are the differences between the two, and that's what this video is about. I guess first and foremost we can start out with there's not too big of a difference because I mean we had a blindfolded guest here and he couldn't tell the difference, or he tried to. But
maybe if we tried them on,
okay,
there might be a difference.
Okay, try them on with blindfold.
Oh my god, we could do.
That's so funny. Alright, so Joel has currently so funny.
I've taken my pants off.
So Joel just took his pants off. I'm gonna hand him a pair to put on, and he's gonna tell me if they're Fear God or minimal. So let's go ahead and do that.
So I have to try both of them, huh?
Yeah. So pair 1 or pair 2 is Fear. Dude, those look sick on you, bro.
Do they look good?
Yeah.
Would you give them me for free?
Depends
which pair it is.
That pair?
Depends
you
which
can,
pair.
You can take that pair.
You can't do it.
Just teasing. So hot.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna put the camera on. Why not? Okay. So Joel currently has a pair of denim on. He doesn't know which ones they are because he was blindfolded while he put them on.
Nearly fell over.
Nearly fell over. So, you have an understanding of how these fit?
These feel really good.
You want to just guess? Let's just guess one pair.
I want to try the other pair.
So Joel just put on the second pair of denim, and now he's kind of just feeling it out.
These ones are definitely tighter, but I think it's because the size might be different on these.
Yeah.
But they feel good still. This is so difficult. Whenever I go jeans shopping, I have to try on like 5 pairs of jeans.
Yeah.
Even in the same style, just to see which size or which, because whenever you get something from a different place, you're going to be a different size.
Yeah. This is fun.
I think I know.
Okay.
Whoa, I hope I know. I feel like these are the minimal ones.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Who gives them away? You're right, you're right.
Am I?
Yeah, you're right.
Feeling my thighs. Feeling myself now. The definite, where are the other guys? Can I take the blindfold off?
Yeah, go ahead. So Joel guessed it right once the pair of denim was on. So I wanted to ask you, what is it about the jeans that kind of told you which one was which?
What I could feel when it was on was more like when I was putting my hand on the jeans, like the minimal ones felt smoother.
Okay.
And these Fear of God ones felt a bit rougher.
Okay.
But that's literally like the only thing I could tell that was different.
Yeah.
The fit on both is great.
All right, guys, so that's gonna do it for today's video. Hopefully you did enjoy it. If you did, please consider hitting that thumbs up button, as it does go such a long way for us YouTubers. And just a reminder, definitely check Joel's channel out. It's Gallucks, it'll be in the description. We did do a vlog together, and honestly hanging out with him is such a pleasure for me every single time, because he's honestly one of the coolest dudes ever. All that to say, guys, I did wanna thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. We just hit 33,000 subscribers, and it's so humbling. Like, honestly, like the concept of you guys taking time of your day to enjoy my content is awesome. And I just want to let you know, I consider it a complete privilege to make these videos for you guys. And I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I've been trying to like make my videos better with like editing and color grading and stuff like that. And I've been trying to put in work, because honestly, like, I just want you guys to continue to enjoy it and see the effort that goes into it. Now, I'm not trying to get you guys to pat me on the back or anything of that nature. I'm doing it strictly because I'm just thankful, and it's just great. Honestly, like, this channel is awesome, this community is awesome, and I just wanted to affirm you guys in that. Just thank you overall. But yeah, let's go ahead and close this video out. As I end every video here at Locust&WildHoney, I'm gonna say peace and be blessed.